Everyone's financial situation could be divided into 4 distinct categories. First, those who were born poor and are incapable of managing what little they have. 2. People who were born poor but eventually learn how to use it responsibly. 3. People who were born rich but lack the knowledge to manage it effectively. And 4. Those who were born rich and use it responsibly. Most of us would want to fall into the 4th category. It is widely known that the disparity between the wealthy and the poor is growing because of continued wealth accumulation of the rich. According to the Federal Reserve, as of late 2021, the wealthiest 1% of families in the United States had 32.3% of the country's wealth, whilst the lowest 50% held just 2.6%. Some may describe this as unfair, or some may consider it as free enterprise. However, most would call it inequality. The wealthy prosper while the rest suffer. For the past 3 decades, this wealth gap has more than doubled, resulting in everyone except the top 1% feeling dissatisfied and resentful. Why is this so? Well, according to the TV, newspapers, and the rest of mainstream media, they would say that the rich came from wealthy families, won the lottery, obtained millions by suing someone, or were extraordinarily lucky. But that's not a good enough answer. There is much more to it than that. It is a fact that money moves constantly. It rarely stops. Money is like energy. Think of it like flowing water. But it behaves in a very different manner to water. It doesn't distribute itself evenly as a wave would wash up on a beach. That wave of money only goes to one tiny stretch of that beach, just 1/100th of it. So, stay right here and find out why that little part of the beach sees all the waves, as we explain why money only washes over the rich. Before we continue, we'd be extremely grateful if you could just quickly give this video a thumbs up. Thanks, let's get going. Let's explore the 3 fundamental principles regulating the movement of money. Nothing could be greater than wanting to live in a society in which everyone has equal opportunities. But as wonderful as it may seem, we all know that building a society where everyone is equally treated is unrealistic wishful thinking. If you've heard of the Pareto principle, you will know that 80% of success results from 20% of the work. Consider this, you undoubtedly know a lot of individuals you could consider friends. Well, the reality is, you spend 80% of your time with only 20% of them. The first key principle is understanding that this can be applied everywhere in life, and especially for money. Money flows to the few. In fact, this is how society has operated for generations. From ancient Babylon to the present day, only a tiny proportion of people accumulate most of the riches, while the bulk of others toiled endlessly to acquire it. Is this unfair? Perhaps, but it is reality. If we were to divide the wealth of the world into equal portions and distribute it to everyone, according to the Pareto principle, we would observe that the wealth will soon fall back straight to the same hands once more. This phenomenon has been demonstrated throughout history, so let's put some numbers to it. Say we give $5,000 to 1,000 individuals. The Pareto law allows us to roughly approximate the situation will be in 1 year from now. So here it is. According to statistics, 800 of the initial 1,000 participants will eventually leave with nothing, giving the remaining 20% with everything. Next, about 80% of that remaining 20%, which is 60% of the original 1,000, will reach a break even with just over $5,000. This leaves 4% with the rest. The interesting part now is that this pattern continues. The remaining 4% of the original population of 1,000 will have more than $50,000 in their own accounts. And quite astonishingly, 20% of this 4%, or 0.8%, which is only 8 individuals, will have more than $500,000. Incredibly, this theory is not too far from the truth. In general, it describes what occurs in our daily lives. Wherever energy flows, it does so in abundance, starving everything else. When Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Jad Karim developed YouTube in May 2005, when the site first went up on a limited beta basis, it started receiving about 30,000 visits per day. 6 months later, on December 15, 2005, YouTube made its formal debut, offering more than 2 million video views daily. That number quickly rose to more than 25 million views by January 2006. Bill Gates and Paul Allen founded the computer software company Microsoft on April 4, 1975, when most Americans were still using typewriters. Microsoft moved its headquarters from Albuquerque, New Mexico to Washington State in 1979, where it eventually developed into a huge worldwide technology firm. The year Microsoft went public, 1987, was when Gates, then 31 years old, became the world's youngest billionaire. Rich people are aware that money is in a constant state of flow. It makes no difference where you start or how much money you possess. So, eliminate all preconceived notions around money and the rich people of this world. Take the time to learn how money moves and which course of action is best. Here's some more. The second key principle is to take deliberate, methodical action. Rich people accomplish things in the following useful ways. 1. Wealthy people are time efficient. People who are wealthy must abandon time-consuming pursuits like grocery shopping, housework, and gardening. Why do you suppose wealthy individuals employ workers to take care of these duties? These tasks must be completed, although they offer no financial benefit. Rich folks can hire workers and assign these tasks to them. They have extra time as a result. They employ it for more beneficial pursuits. They increase their income and become affluent because of their valuable and efficient use of their time. Time is money, and wealthy people have a flawless understanding of it. 2. The wealthy have more resources at their disposal. With even unlimited time, it's still challenging for one individual to complete all the tasks. Rich people make investments in different revenue streams, for example, index funds, real estate, and the stock market. Rich people use all these resources to accumulate more wealth. They will increase their cash flow and increase their personal net worth by using these assets that create income. 3. Wealthy people spend money on both themselves and on information. You'll need the right information to make good financial decisions. Wealthy people are aware that education and information are their finest investments. Poor people are hesitant to invest money because they believe more education and knowledge would be wasted and have no practical use. It's because they don't know how to apply that knowledge. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on courses and seminars. There is an abundance of information and great education freely available online on YouTube, like here, and in podcasts. The more knowledge a person has, the more money they can make. The more ways they can use their information, the richer they become. These 3 actions are just a small sample of what the rich do to grow their wealth. 1. Saving time. 2. Investing in assets. And 3. Investing in education and in themselves. The third key principle is that wealthy individuals research and understand the timing of the movement of money. Let's follow the example of a man who is well versed in how to manage his money. If you read about Warren Buffett, you've probably heard him say things like, "Be greedy when others are scared, and be fearful when others are greedy." Timing is vital when engaging in investments. Perhaps you are very well prepared, but if failing to act at the appropriate moment could cost you everything. Everybody was having a blast in 2006, 2 years just before the real estate market's global economic disaster. Everything was perfect since they were all making a profit. They lacked reserves and were selfish. Meanwhile, a small few investors were intelligent and cautious enough to be afraid. They researched and prepared for what was about to happen. In 2008, when the real estate market's bubble burst, guess what the selfish men did? They experienced fear. They went crazy. They started taking money out of the banks. They tried to conserve their cash, fearful of their livelihood. However, they eventually lost their jobs. And the sad truth is, they had no savings left. So, what did the savvy, educated investors do? They moved from a state of terror to one of greed. They didn't take anything out. They were ready for the impending drop. And now that stocks were effectively on sale, they began to reallocate their capital to invest in more of them. They were aware that the drop would eventually end, and the tide would eventually come back in. When it did, they'd be leagues ahead of everyone else who panicked. This helps you see things from a different angle and comprehend how wealthy people think about money and why it always flows to them. It's not a coincidence that 1% of the world's population owns almost as much as the rest. There are always reasons for that. One is that money always moves to the few who know how to attract it. Drop the prejudices and take action to get it flowing to you. 2. The key to financial success is knowing how money flow works. take deliberate, methodical action and educate yourself about it. The third key to financial success is good timing. Be greedy and afraid at the appropriate moments. So, do you still believe this is fair? Did you enjoy the video? We have a lot more content like this, so check out our recent uploads. If you found this video helpful, let us know in the comments sections what strategies you're considering about investing, and feel free to share your thoughts. We look forward to reading them. We wish everyone a wonderful day.